Greetings, my fellow stream lovers and sovereign thinkers. This is LL3's newest podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy mangroves of South Florida. And today's date, Saturday, May 7th, 2016. Oh, another beautiful day in the village of Miami Shores. And of course, there's a couple that are being harassed by the village themselves because they've been having a garden in their front yard. They've been doing it for 17 years, but Miami Shores believe they are better than them on how to live and take care of their facility. So the truth of the matter is, the couple is taking this to court, and I could tell this to the elected servants of Miami Shores and their sympathizers. Can you explain to me how your ordinance supersedes Article 1, Section 2 of the Florida Constitution entitled Basic Rights? Absolutely. I know a lot of you folks out there know I've been addressing this for a good long time. You can figure it out or to look it up. Article 1, Section 2 of the Florida Constitution entitled Basic Rights. And I know maybe some rallies and protests about this because people are sick and tired of being told what to do. And if the Miami Shores Village is nothing more than another bend-over-bottom corporation, they need to stick it where the sun don't shine, because the truth of the matter is, my friends, they need the people more than people need them. Plain and simple. This is just another example of government knows best. That deserves another P-Now microphone moment for them. However, I don't know when this is happening, but I've been keeping tabs on this for a good period of time. And I know usually I just post stuff on Facebook, so I'm not going to really be talking about this, but I'm just going to give you my little intake on it, my little typical rant of my liberty-minded individual like myself. And I have no shame, and I sit right in the heart of Miami Shores. So come on down if you want to call me out on this, because you have no merit by any means. So on the contrary, I want to be actually addressing some interesting stuff here. It'll be like maybe, like 4 topics, maybe 5 at the most. I think I'll say about 5. So this is one thing that's really interesting. Came out from Activist Post by Nicholas West. It's entitled, FBI seeks to keep its nationwide biometric database a secret from citizens. That's right, America, your tax dollars at work for playing unclassified information, and they hate transparency because they want to control you. All right? And I know J. Edgar Hoover is climaxing in his grave. All right, we'll just have to say what has to say here by Mr. West himself. It says here, the FBI's next generation identification biometric database went live nationwide in 2014 without much fanfare from the general public. Naturally, establishment media wasn't there to give attention to the massive endeavor, even though from its own inception, it threatened the privacy of every single American. It doesn't matter what you look like. Correct. With only dedicated civil liberties advocates trying to bring attention to the threat, the system quickly amassed more than 50 million images sourced from facial recognition alone, and as reported by the Electronic Frontier Foundation, merged into the FBI legacy database of fingerprints and other identifiers to create a centralized hub of surveillance. NGI builds on the FBI's legacy fingerprint database, which already contains well over 100 million individual records. I bet you I'm on there too. I won't be surprised. And has been designed to include multiple forms of biometric data, including palm prints and iris scans, in addition to the fingerprints and face recognition data. NGI combines all of these forms of data in each individual file, linking them to personal and biographic data like name, home addresses, ID number, immigration status, age, race, etc. Ooh, yeah, saying can't trust the people, huh? The immense database is shared with other federal agencies and with the approximately 18,000 tribal, state, and local law enforcement agencies across the United States. There's a source for that, by the way, if you want to check it out. Over the ensuing years, the prevalence of biometrics has only increased in everything from banking to drones to student IDs to facial recognition billboards in public space to voice recognition security. At this point, it is unclear just how many biometric images might be stored in the database now. There are even more sources from which to cull data. And the FBI would like to keep it that way. Shh! Don't tell anyone, we can't be transparent. Oh my God, I know J. Edgar Hoover's masturbating to the war gods. Yay! That's right. Apparently, the tired trope of national security is once again being peddled to legitimize secrecy and violating civil liberties, similar to the no-fly list, where people have no idea if they're on it, or if so, how to get off it. The FBI is proposing that citizens who have their biometric data collected might not be entitled to know anything about it, because we want to keep it secret. Ha 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 ha. Letting individuals view their own records or even accounting of those records could compromise criminal investigations or national security efforts, potentially revealing a sensitive investigative technique or information that could help a subject avoid detection or apprehension, the draft posting says. They're saying that if we have too much freedom, they could take advantage of it. Give me a break. Worst of all, since its inception, the FBI has admitted that the system includes non-criminal identification as well as criminals, suspects, and detainees, fingerprints for job applicants, licenses, military or volunteer service, background checks, security clearances, and naturalization. In short, anything not covered above most assuredly will be once biometrics itself spreads into every area of human life. And for those who might still be inclined to believe that this will only be used when national security truly is threatened, it will be wise to remember how anti-terror technologies trickle down to the lowest of crimes and beyond, like using Stingray cell phone surveillance to catch a $50 chicken wing thief. Hallelujah. Perhaps most concerning of all is the mission that the collected data will be put on the shelf for the future analysis in order to establish potential connections, considering how the web of humans' interaction can lead to narrowing degrees of separation between any two individuals that is almost guaranteed to ensnare the completely innocent. With time seemingly irrelevant or untimely, information may acquire new significance when the new details are brought to light. The posting said information contained in the database could help with establishing patterns of activity and providing criminal lead. Let us not forget that it was those so-called patterns of activity which a large percentage of innocent people will be swept up into the post 9/11 torture apparatus, which is still being justified as a necessary national security measure. I can fart too. That's how I look. That's how I see it. Under this reasoning, nearly everyone could be detained in reality or virtually as possible suspect in a possible future crime. Yeah, and FDR will be extremely proud. Remember he studied history books of people who live around that time, signed Executive Order 9066. Look it up to all you FDR fanatics. More attention needs to be given to this incredible slide toward a technocratic system of being guilty until proven innocent, completely upturning all protections supposed to be guaranteed to each American. According to the NextGov, this proposal will be open for public comment for 1 month after it's officially posted. Aw, how cute. The fact that a system which has been in years, possibly decades in the making, should offer citizens a mere month to weigh in what they should say enough about what they're dealing with. Please file NextGov, Electronic Frontiers Foundation, Epic, and actively post for the latest as civil liberties advocates attempt to demand the system is fully revealed to the public. Share this information with friends and family to ensure they have the best chance of possible at resisting this digital tyranny. And there's a thing too on biometric information can be found here, FBI.gov. So interesting stuff here, folks. That's Nicholas West. Yes, this is not more than a total monumental lie. 1984 rollerball, THX 1133, all in one bowl of manure. That's how they want you to believe that they're doing it for your own good, your own protection. They said, trust us, we'll protect you. We're the government, we're the FBI, we'll take care of everything. There's no guarantees, my friend. And based on this, you got criminal elements within these entities as well, could take advantage of it, and even the ones that may be spying for the enemy, foreign or domestic. It's completely useless, unacceptable, and will cost the taxpayer a lot more money than what they invested in. So, you know what? I say scrap the damn thing. People need to start calling out these bastards, these treasonous, bend-over Bobs, Uncle Toms, and Angel Mamas of tyranny. Part of the One World Order plan. This is how they want you to do it. Get all these little shortcuts. If they say this because of 9/11, I say Symbolically, punch him in the mouth. Symbolically. You know what I'm talking about, my friends. Definitely say no to this monumental deception. All right, next one here actually came from Important News, importantnews.com. Came out a couple of days ago. Look at the bio, and this is by Michael Snyder. Good guy, good man. We're pen pals on Facebook. We follow each other on Twitter, so it's pretty cool. And it says here, scientists explain why is it inviolable that America will be hit by absolutely monstrous earthquakes, and he shows all the areas with the fault lines, including the Ring of Fire. Wild stuff, I would say. You see all the plates in the world. And it says here, have you noticed that the crust of the Earth is starting to become a lot more unstable? Over the past couple of months, major earthquakes have been shaking areas all over the planet, and major volcanoes have been erupting with a frequency that is more than just a little bit of startling. Here in the United States, the state of Oklahoma absolutely shattered their nearly record of quakes. Last year, we just saw a very disturbing earthquake right along New Madrid fault line. Just recently, and you will see below, one scientist is telling us that the San Andreas Fault in Southern California looks like it's locked, loaded, and ready to go. Name of the scientist that issued the very ominous warning is Thomas Jordan, and he's the director of the Southern California Earthquake Center. The following quote from Jordan comes from a Los Angeles Times article that was published this week that is getting a huge amount of attention right now. The springs of the San Andreas system have been wound very, very tight, wound very, very tight. And the southern San Andreas Fault in particular looks like it's locked, loaded, and ready to go. Jordan said in the opening keynote talk. Other sections of the San Andreas Fault also far overdue for a big quake. Further southeast of the Cajon Pass, such as San Bernardino County, the fault has not moved substantially since its earthquake in 1812. And further southeast of the Salton Sea, that has been relatively quiet since about 1680 to 1690. Here's the problem. Scientists have observed that based on the movement of tectonic plates, with the Pacific plate moving northwest of the North American plate, earthquakes should be revealing about 16 feet of accumulated space movement every 100 years. If the San Andreas has not relieved stress that has been building up for more than a century. Jordan went on to say, with the tension that has been building along the San Andreas Fault is finally relieved, it could potentially produce a magnitude 8 earthquake. Back in 2008, U.S. Geological Survey concluded that just a magnitude 7.8 earthquake along the southern San Andreas Fault will cause more than 1,800 deaths, 50,000 injuries, and $200 billion in damage. So we're talking about a truly historic event. Many people out there that someday large portions of California will fall into the ocean as a result of an absolutely massive earthquake. But the USGS is convinced that it is not likely to happen. However, they do openly admit that someday the cities of Los Angeles and San Francisco will be located right next to one another. Will California eventually fall into the ocean? No, the San Andreas Fault system, which crosses California from the Salton Sea in the south of Cape Mendocino in the north, is a boundary between the Pacific Plate and North American Plate. The Pacific Plate is moving northwest with respect to the North American Plate at approximately 46 millimeters per year, the rate your fingernail grows. Interesting stuff there, huh? Slight strike-slip earthquakes on the San Andreas Fault are a result of this plate motion. The plates moving horizontally past one another, so California is not going to fall into the ocean. However, Los Angeles and San Francisco will one day be adjacent to one another. Interesting there. I remember I saw a film on this a long time ago about this earthquake, San Andreas Fault line and so forth. Interesting thing on that. So something to think about, you know? But of course, it isn't just California we need to be concerned about. According to Daily Mail, one team of scientists has concluded that great giant chunks of the Earth's mantle are breaking off and sinking into the planet under North American Plate, and that has caused some unusual earthquakes in the eastern part of the country in recent years. Southeastern United States has been hit by a series of strange, unexplained earthquakes. Most recently, 2011, magnitude 5.8 earthquake near Mineral, Virginia, that shook the nation's capital. Researchers have been baffled, believing the area should be relatively quiet in terms of seismic activity, as it located in the interior of the North American plate, far away from the plate boundaries where earthquakes usually occur. Well, I got the hiccups there. Sorry about that. Now that you believe quakes could be caused by pieces of Earth's immersed mantle breaking off and sinking into the planet. I don't know about you, but that sounds rather ominous to me. The crust of our planet already somewhat resembles a giant cracked egg, and to hear that pieces may be breaking off and sinking into the interior is not exactly comforting. And those same scientists are telling us that the process that has been causing is going and will continue to produce more earthquakes. The study authors conclude this process is ongoing and likely to produce more earthquakes in the future. Our ideas support the view that this seismicity will continue due to unbalanced stresses in the plate, said Burke Barrow, a seismologist at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and the lead author of the new study. The seismic zones that are active will continue to active for some time. Those that follow my work will closely know that I've been writing about seismic activity a lot lately, and that I believe the major earth changes are coming to the North American continent. I am deeply concerned about the new Madrid Fault and Cascada subduction zone, the major faults in Southern California and Mount Rainier up in Washington State. In the end, I don't believe that we will see just one or two major earthquakes, two major seismic events in years ahead. For those of us that are fortunate enough to live long enough, I believe that those areas that I just mentioned will experience major events. So what do you think? Am I being irrational? You could participate on here, have your views, comments below. I wouldn't be surprised, Mr. Snyder, that we may experience some crazy earthquake within those areas. Wouldn't be surprised at all, my friend. And one thing for sure, we have to always, like I say, pay attention. Like I told you, we got to pay attention even to our planet. We got to keep tabs in these areas and hope it won't go very chaotic in our lifetime. But we have to expect it too. That's just part of Mother Nature. Even in an area in Mount Rainier, I wouldn't be surprised. There's a fault line right in the Caribbean plate too, where Puerto Rico and all that is at too, and that could put them underwater. We don't know. They may give new land. It's possible too. So that's what's part of Mother Nature, my friends. It does happen. This is why we gotta pay attention, know our surroundings. Like, look what happened in Japan. Okay, like with the whole you heard forget to happen in Fukushima, and that place always shakes, always sways, almost every day. It's one of the most active areas on the planet at this time, or in the northern hemisphere, I would say, to be fair. It can happen. We have to just prepare ourselves and do what's right. Have a plan. If you folks live, you know what you have to do. I'm not saying it's easy in these particular natural disasters. We have to be, like I said, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Something may happen. I wouldn't be surprised, because it's always, remember, Mother Nature has her cycles too. It's part of life, and always appreciate and cherish everything you care for. Don't get caught up in material things and petty crap. There's a lot more essential areas we need to all focus on. And people that know me understand where I'm coming from too. So, all right. Well, next one here. Interesting. This came out today from Truth Dig. Yeah, sometimes people find them sketchy, but I like this one here. It is by Natasha Hakimi. It says here, former New York Assembly Speaker and Clinton Superdelegate gets 12-year sentence up for corruption. Let's see what it says here. Hillary Clinton has credited Sheldon Silver, a longtime New York Assembly Speaker, for encouraging her political career on Tuesday. He was handed a 12-year prison sentence for participating in a two-track corruption scheme that nettled him an estimated $4 million in bribes and kickbacks disguised as legal fees. The Times Union reports. In documents submitted last month, prosecutors requested that Silver be set away for greater than any sentence imposed on other New York State legislators convicted of public corruption offenses. The state public corruption sentence length belonged to former Assemblyman William Borland Jr., who received 14 years in prison following his 2015 conviction on bribery charges. Silver's attorney has sought a sentence below federal guidelines, possibly coupled with a confinement and community service. Silver was forced to resign after his arrest in January 2015. At the time of his resignation, he had the second longest tenure in the New York Assembly. The website Veterans for Bernie details a lengthy relationship between Clinton and Silver, noting that she used his office to lobby other New York lawmakers. Although she called him a great partner in 2008, she has avoided association with them throughout her current presidential campaign. Silver, who has led the New York Democratic delegation at past Democratic national conventions, resigned from his position as Superdelegate several months ago. The state Democratic Party will apparently replace him sometimes this month. I'll just say this. The guy's a slime bag. The way he looks, he's a total slime bag as far as I'm concerned. But the question is, who do he really tick off? That's how I see it. Look at Hillary Clinton, for goodness sakes. She should be indicted for many things, including treason. And people still want to support this war criminal? Oh, I'd be ashamed of yourselves. I'm very critical, too, with some of the labor unions as well, trying to say, we got to endorse her. Give me a break. You're trying to slap our fellow brothers and sisters in the face? Pure blasphemy. Absolutely. But this man here, he earned it. He really earned it. You want to give him a cushy job, please. You should give him a ball and chain and have him working hard labor as far as I'm concerned. Hey, involuntary servitude. But one thing I like, he got what he deserves. Plain and simple. Until you prove me wrong. If you can, it'd be great. But you know what? It's just an example why corruption doesn't pay. And how many enemies did Mr. Silver had within his own party? We don't know that for sure. But I wouldn't be surprised. But you know what? The man chose poorly, and look what happens. Welcome to Blowback. Corruption never pays. All right, enough of the sarcasm. Finally, this came out a few days ago from YourNewsWire.com. And it says here, Donald Trump endorses Israeli settlement expansion in the West Bank. As it reads here, the Republican presidential candidate refuted the notion that halting the expansion of Jewish settlements is a prerequisite for peace negotiations. In an interview with the British newspaper Daily Mail, Trump was asked if there should be a pause in settlement construction in the occupied territories, to which he responded, "No, I don't think there should be a pause." Press TV reports Trump said the settlement construction must keep going and keep moving forward because Palestinians fired thousands of missiles at Israel. There are thousands of missiles being launched into Israel, he said. Who will put up with that? Who would stand for it? Look, missiles were launched into Israel, and I think never was properly treated by our country. I mean, do you know what that is? How devastating that is? Over 500,000 Israelis live in more than 230 legal settlements built since the 1967 Israeli occupation. There's a bus driving by. Of the Palestinian territories of the West Bank, including East al-Quds, which is Jerusalem. All Israeli settlements are illegal under international law. Pointing to the stalled peace talks, which Palestinian negotiators say will not happen without a halt in the new construction. Trump said, with all of that is being said, I would love to see if peace could be negotiated. A lot of people said that is not a deal that's possible. And I started to yawn there. Oh, shoot. But I mean lasting peace, not a peace that lasts for 2 weeks and they start launching missiles again. So we'll see what happens. Asked about his relationship with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Trump called him a very good guy for whom he said he had made a campaign ad in 2013. I don't know him that well, but I think I have a very good relationship with him, the billionaire GOP frontrunner said. I think that President Barack Obama has been extremely bad to Israel, he said. Well. So we may have another a bitch to Israel, I would say, allegedly speaking. But like I said, it's Donald Trump. He's wishy-washy in a lot of areas, but like I said before, I give him credit for calling out these other yahoos that are running for president. I think it was fantastic. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be his buddy. I want to go Trump, go, and kiss the floor he walks on. If he's a true outsider, he should say, "Hey, that's none of our damn business. Let's take care of the United States first and help everybody else." But there's a lot of claims about him. He may be selling his soul to the banksters. I don't know. But one thing for sure, I know David, I talked about that. When you don't talk about the banksters, they leave you alone, allegedly. So it's going to be interesting. So there's a lot of talk. I'm not saying it's Donald Trump's going to be our Lord and Savior by any means. That would be totally irrelevant. But the other clowns that are running from the two mainstream parties, I just find it hilarious. But saying you're going to be buddy with Benjamin Netanyahu, forget about it. You know what? There's a lot of beautiful people in Israel, and you know what? Their government is just as they got criminal elements in the government as just as heinous as ours and the rest of the world. They all got their little minions, I would say. All right. So you got to call me anti-Semitic. Go ahead. I don't give a damn. Tell me when criminal elements of the Israeli government is tyrannical, anti-Semitic. I dare you. Have merit, because I know one thing you won't. Donald Trump, if you're gonna make that statement, bending over to another nation is not good. If you have any questions, I recommend you read George Washington's Federal Address and Federalist Papers 2-5, written by John Jay. No excuses. Build relationships, yes. But try to act like an apple polisher according to these articles, no. Keep everything formal. And I recommend this too, Donald. Let's talk about people want you to have Newt Gingrich as their running mate. I say the hell with them. He's anti-freedom and a member of the Council of Foreign Relations. Another one world order bellboy. That's all I gotta say about Newt Gingrich. Nothing more, nothing less. End of story. That's why I say the people, the Palestinians have the right to live as well with the Israelis in peace without any government interference, and vice versa. That's my view on that area. It's a real damn shame what's been going on for all these years and beyond. Who's a good guy, who's a bad guy? Please, stop trying. I would say this. Stop cultivating more blood in the lands of those areas. And I think this, with the whole West Bank, is nothing more than another deception. That's what the one world order wants. Divide and rule. That is it. I want to do a little video thing here, which was done by the 10th Amendment Center. It's very interesting. It talks about the local police and ATF agreement to enforce gun control. And this happened in Glendale, Arizona. Let me see here. There's plenty of information on it. I'd be a member. And it came out the 27th of April, to be exact. It says here, did you know that local law enforcement agencies often commit significant resources to helping the federal government enforce federal gun laws and regulations? This report will share your official agreement between the local police department in Arizona and the ATF. I'm wearing my Boot to be ATF shirt, by the way, so some people think it's offensive, or other people love it, so I think that's okay. I like it. All right, I'm going to play it and give you my intake, all right?
Did you know that local law enforcement agencies often commit significant resources to helping the federal government enforce federal gun laws and regulations? Coming up next, we'll share with you the official agreement between a local police department in Arizona and the ATF. Government agencies often use what are known as memorandums of agreement to formalize a working relationship. These MOAs are a conditional agreement where a transfer of funds for services are anticipated. Resources for the ATF are nowhere close to what they need to enforce federal gun control, so these agreements are a huge part of their strategy. For example, take this one, which just went into effect last November between the ATF and the Glendale Police Department in Arizona. Here's what Glendale Police promises to provide the ATF. assigned officers to assist ATF in investigations of federal, state, and local laws. Officers will be assigned on a dedicated rather than a rotational basis. The Glendale Police Department pays for everything in most situations, even if the officers are working for the ATF and not enforcing state or local law. And here's what the ATF promises to provide in return. That's right, absolutely nothing. The MOA only authorizes a reimbursement for overtime salary payments and some pre-approved expenses. Section 5 notes that the Glendale Police Department will cover all other costs of employment, including withholdings and insurance. We've not been able to locate another MOA that authorizes reimbursement for regular salary, so if that's the case, the feds don't reimburse any salaries unless they work overtime. The ATF gets them for free. And even the overtime reimbursement isn't guaranteed. Section 5 makes that quite clear. The ATF is getting the Glendale Police Department in Arizona to do their job for them, and they're getting it done for free on the back of Arizona taxpayers. The agreement is in effect until September 30th, 2020. State-level legislation banning this kind of material support to the ATF could end the agreement. It includes a provision for cancellation with a 60-day notice. My name is Michael Bolin, reporting for the 10th Amendment Center. Thank you so much for watching.
Well. That's how you got to really look at that, folks. Working for free on the taxpayers of Glendale, Arizona. Just wondering how many other municipalities around the country have these agreements. To me, it is totally ludicrous and criminal. Racketeering, extortion, or you can use RICO, doesn't matter. James Madison addressed that in Federalist Papers 46 on the federal government should never encroach on states' jurisdiction and close on the local level as well. Where is the governor going to say about this? How come the sheriff of that county isn't calling them out? The people in Glendale, Arizona, and many others that may have these agreements under your noses need to start going to their offices, waltz right in, put your feet on their desk in solidarity and saying, what the hell are you trying to do in my own town, my own city? If the individuals from Glendale, the elected servants, support this plan, you should just handcuff them, shackle them like a bunch of stuffed pigs, and throw their asses in jail. They're not above you. They believe they're higher than you. They're nothing like the people. Like I said before, without you guys, they're garbage. They're manure. And I know I've been a little bit critical on government. It's not hating government, but despite define tyranny as a whole. That's why if you notice on my my notes about me on my podcast, my personal creed is demoniac resistance, and I have no shame to admit that. This is why, my friends, you always got to remain vigilant. Stand up to these individuals. They believe they can do whatever they want, and they can't. Because like I said, they need us more we need them. So everyone in Glendale, and fight against this agreement. Use it as toilet paper. Deprecate it right in front of the mayor, the police chief, etc. Don't be afraid of them. Action conquers fear. That's what freedom is. Resisting tyrants is obedience to God. Thomas Jefferson. And that was a vehicle driving by. That is all, my friends. I'd like to thank everyone for listening to this show. Plus, feel free to download and share this throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, compliments, love letters, hate letters, or you want to send me something that's interesting I haven't really checked out yet, please do so. However, always send your correspondences with decorum. And I don't want any garbage advertising, and I say that out of love. And I do appreciate it for not putting that in there. You can hit me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Freedoms Network, and Scene.life. Or you can email me at LokiLuck3, which is the number 3 at gmail.com. I do have a Tumblr account, but I rarely use that. But I just post my shows on there, but I rarely use it. So I probably get responses anyway from there. But if you use Tumblr, you can. But the other 8, yeah, I'm pretty on top of that. Okay. And I do appreciate everyone's comments and thumbs ups and so forth, and of course reviews, which is great. You know, I can take constructive criticism as well. I'm a human being, and I'm not saying I'm the best podcaster in the world. Come on, I'm just a humble chap, like to preach the word, and just enjoy the day. It keeps me active too in these areas. So most of the time I do like wing it. I don't have all these little pre-plans. I just like browse through. It's okay. I'll check this out, check that out. Then I'll give you my views. And I'd like to thank everyone for always listening to the show. All right, my friends. I want to play good old Maiden song, Iron Maiden, off the Somewhere in Time. It's called Stranger in a Strange Land. That's how I feel. That's how I feel today. You know, just the bizarro world, you know, of what's happening in our communities, states, nations, the world, etc. Always remember, my friends, that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves, keep on spreading the love, and may your guardian spirits be with you. Enjoy the song, and have a very happy Mother's Day and beyond.